Yep.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what cut out, but you kind of froze up about 3 minutes ago.
Yeah, I peeped that. I'm trying to see what was the cause of that now. But yeah, pardon me to the chat. I think maybe when it crashed out, remember when I said it crashed out? Something had crashed. Maybe
Hmm.
it played into a part into that. But yeah, to anybody that's just tuning in, we had covered WWE Backlash. The first match, Bloodline. They defeat Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. The debut of Tonga Loa. We had Bailey going over Tiffany and Naomi for the championship. Jay Uso loses to Damian Priest, and AJ Styles loses to Cody Rhodes for the championship. Then we moved on to Monday Night Raw. Damian Priest starts off the show apologizing to the Judgment Day for his actions, and he acknowledges that they're only there to help him. And now it seems like things are all right with the Judgment Day again.
I wouldn't go that far
Okay.
because again, like as Priest is giving his speech, Finn was giving him a very distinct look, like you fucked up,
He did give him that kind of look.
and JD kind of gave him the same thing. And also, I don't know if you noticed, JD got punched right here. His band-aids were right here.
Man,
Ooh,
they
come
gotta
on,
get
JD, you're better than that.
they gotta get it right with JD right there. Adam Pearce announced Jay Uso in place of Drew McIntyre versus Finn Balor for the King of the Ring qualifier. Jay Uso wins that match. How do you feel about CM Punk and Drew McIntyre? They continuing to do this weekly promo with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. Do you think we need to see that, or do you think it's a bit run at this point? I feel like it's a little bit run down, a little bit.
It's interesting. And again, no fault to either one of them. I think just the random injuries to Punk and Drew respectively kind of like threw a wrench in everything. So I mean, hopefully both of them will be ready either by Clash or right before, whatever. But yeah, it's definitely getting the drives that it's starting to lag out.
So do you feel like Drew Mack was, because I know we spoke about this on the DM. There was three replacements that happened, right?
Hmm.
Being one of them. Drew Mack, do you feel like it's a legitimate injury or this is storyline just to get him out of that and have him with CM?
Well, they're saying that at Mania when Punk like swept his leg, Drew banged his elbow on the corner of the table, and that's kind of what fucked everything up for him.
Mm.
So they're saying it was like a freak accident. They're saying he's legitimately like injured there, but like he's saying he's good. They want to take precaution. That's how I'm kind of taking it. But Punk should be back very soon as well. So again, I anticipate this all kind of like boiling down within the next like 4 to 5 weeks. But even then, it's like this has been going on for a minute. You got to start wrapping up very soon. I mean, Punk kind of he's been active recently. Drew was active up until the last couple weeks or whatever. If it's not as bad as they're claiming it is, then I don't see why, say, either this Friday or next Monday, they shouldn't be getting active with one another.
Mm. I could see that. Also, now moving on from that, back to the kings and queens of the ring, we got Natalia and EO Scott. I remember we spoke about Natalia, and this is what I said they don't give her much. EO
Well,
Scott with the victory.
my thing with the first round of tournament specifically, I'm not a big fan of both or the men and women each having a match at a random live event. Essentially,
Mm,
why is that? Why aren't all the matches on TV?
So what's the first round that was done on a live event?
I know the Ricochet match. Whoever his opponent is, I forget. That's going to be at 11 this weekend, I think. And then the four. So it's supposed to be four match for the men, four match for the women. That's the first round.
Didn't
Three of
didn't
them here
Ricochet
each are on
take on
TV.
didn't Ricochet take on Dragunov on that Raw? for
Hold on. Who's that fourth match this week? Because who's that fourth match? Um, yeah, cause Richard, but because Michael Cole is very adamant about again the fourth match of the men's tournament was going to be on a house show, and they also stated that the fourth match of the women's side was going to be on a house show as well.
I feel like that's cool, but I'm on with you. Like it's kind of it gives, I guess, something for the people in live attendance, because when you go to live shows, it's kind of just like it's like I don't want to say it's a throwaway show, but it's like if you don't get a chance to go to a Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, that's the only thing you could catch a live event. You'll go to one, but there's generally nothing of
Yeah,
significance. on-
but the fact that it's just the first round of it, it's like there's no significance on that match already. This is
Yeah.
a match for part of said tournament.
Yeah, so you said it'll be. I can't think of who that match is right now.
Yeah.
Another injury
I want to
replacement.
say the Titus match is on the house show side of it. Let me
Mm,
see. But yeah. So I wasn't a big fan of how they kind of presented because I feel like all four men's matches and all four women's matches should be on Raw and SmackDown. That should be your show right there because again, you want to make the tournament seem significant, make it seem important, make it feel special. If
right.
you put one match on a house show, you're putting part of the tournament on the back burner already.
How do you feel? I seen people talk about this online, and I think I remember the days where King of the Ring was designed for the up and coming superstar. Maybe it was always designed like that, but I think
It used to
now,
be its own pay per view. So this weekend it's going to be Kofi versus Ray, as well as where's the other side? So the SmackDown side goes on tomorrow, but we're going to pull up the women real quick. But so yeah, Kofi and Ray will be at the house show this weekend,
wow,
and Kofi is the replacement for Woods because Woods was supposed to be in the tournament, but I guess when you wrestled Gunter, he hurt him.
yeah, I seen that. hmm So all of these injuries, Oscar replaced by Dakota,
Mhm.
Bobby
And
Lashley.
this weekend for the women's will be Zelina Vega and Shayna Baszler,
I can
and
see
there
why.
could be yeah, eh,
Yeah.
but there could be two other matches following SmackDown and the house show after that tomorrow. So four of the bracket matches are going to be on the house shows, and all the others are going to have a TV spotlight. That tells me that whoever's in those select matches have no aren't going to win the tournament at all.
Mm. Yeah, basically, because they're just like move on. Even whoever wins that match, moving on to the second round.
It's a bye week.
Basically, yeah. How do you feel about the fact, like, well, I'm gonna get to this after I talk about this last segment. Carlito was backstage with the Judgment Day. How you feel about that?
I mean, he got funk with race faction. He got funk with Damien too because again, when it was Damien versus Bad Bunny, Carlito came out.
Right. And he did mention
Carlito
that.
put the paws on him too.
He did mention that. Would you like to see, like, obviously Carlito's Puerto Rican, Damien's Puerto Rican. Would you like to see something there, or do you think they don't know what to do with Carlito at this point?
They definitely have no clue what the fuck they want to do with him. They're just plugging and playing with him because they think it's gonna work. Yeah, it's fine, but a lot of the fans that know his work know that he can do much more of what they're giving him. Fuck it. Let him walk around with an apple, insinuating drama, and folks are gonna buy into that.
That's what it looked like he's on to. But the only thing that I feel I would like for him to be more like a loner. It seems
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
yeah, he's looking like for the acceptance of the Judgment Day at this point. Like,
He wants his countrymen's help. That's how it's looking like.
yes, yes, yes,
He's asking for a handout.
yeah,
And Damien is saying, I got funk with you, fuck out my face.
Yeah, because there's no real incentive for Damian Priest to take on that kind of drama when they already did that once for
And it
Dom.
makes no sense for Dominic trying to get Carlito to win too,
Yeah,
because
but
Carlito
I feel like
was
Dom
supposed to
is
be like this
Dom
with
is
his deadbeat dad.
Dom is always trying to initiate somebody or bring somebody in. Though I feel like,
But this was his deadbeat dad's best friend.
yeah,
So again, nothing makes sense what to do with that shit. And again, it's like he beat up Dragon Lee before the draft. He gets drafted with the fact of the motherfucker he just beat up.
hmm to finish off the Raw recap, Gunther beat Sheamus in a banger.
One hell of a match.
I know
And
surprise.
again,
Oh,
and
I
then
heard that.
also with that match, a lot of folks on the internet kind of touched on Sheamus's attention to detail as far as selling. The knee was getting worked on. He had a shot for the bro kick. Right when he tries to line it up, the leg gives out. Falls to the DDT 1, 2, 3. Attention to detail goes a long way. Take note.
Classic Sheamus. I feel like I've seen him pull that trick before, and it's always a good one to go to because again, like you're saying, paying attention to detail. That's something a lot of people don't do. They take all this damage throughout the match and not selling the effects of the injury. It's psychology. That's all it is. You know, it puts on
If
for
you say, for example, you take 10 liver shots or liver shots, and you're about 30 minutes deep in the match. If I'm that person, I'm acting like I can't even stand up and breathe because I take so many shots from the liver.
got to drag yourself at will.
You have to convince the folks that are spending their hard-earned money that you are in an actual fight. Yes, folks want to say that it's all orchestrated, it's all fake, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But again, there's a reason why folks spend all their money to go to the movies, watch the Joker, go watch the Avengers, go watch the Matrix, go watch Star Wars, go watch Shrek, go watch fucking anything.
For sure. For sure. SmackDown this coming Friday. Well, today basically. And that was on it's still Thursday where you at, right? Still
Mm-hmm.
last it's
Oh
Friday.
no, no, only technically, I mean it's 11:30 over here.
So it's about to be Friday for you. So this Friday, SmackDown. I see a lot of rumblings online that people are bothered that the women tag team champions are on the Queen of the Ring tournament.
I thought that was kind of interesting because I mean, yeah, you're during the tournament. Why put the belt? Why put the belts on them, or vice versa?
I feel the latter of what you saying, or like why put the
Also,
belts on them?
also, what this tells me is Naomi ain't making it past the first, second round. Jay's gonna make it through.
That's
Naomi
what I
not so
felt
much.
like.
That's what that tells me because everyone's high on Jade. Again, both of them extremely talented. It's obvious Jade's their flavor of the month, respectfully, but it's just nature of the beast. They're always gonna ride with the flavor of the month.
I think
Me personally, me being selfish, if you want to put both tag champs against each other for Queen of the Ring, I'm cool with that. But how the brackets are set,
I
I
don't
don't
think
see
it's
that being a lot.
I don't isn't it supposed to be like I mean I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it supposed to be like there's a raw side and the raw side advances to face on the SmackDown side winner?
Yeah, it's their own bracket, but still, it's like, do you want? Do you really want your newly crowned women's tag team champions to take on one another this soon already?
Yeah, if you want to plant seeds for a bigger match, yeah. Because now let's say they have this friendly exhibition match, so to speak, but for the Queen of the Ring.
Hold on, let's see. Let me pull up the women's bracket real quick. But continue.
Yeah, so if you got these two in a friendly exhibition, and let's say Jade gets the win over Bianca, now Bianca feels salty during their championship run and starts displaying it during each little match here and there, tagging herself in, trying to get the victory.
So the SmackDown matches will be Bianca versus Castle Ray, Naomi versus Nia Jax, and this is what I'm interested in.
Piper
Jade
Niven.
Cargo versus Piper Niven. That was gonna be one to watch. That was gonna be fun. I don't care what
I
y'all
think
say,
I think this tournament is designed to make Jade look
but
strong.
I don't
Make
know
her
if
ready
they're
to
showing
strong.
how, but I don't know how they're displaying how the brackets are laid out. So there's a chance that the winner of Naomi or Bianca and Jade's matches could beat face each other in the next round.
That's what I'm feeling like.
Hopefully, that's one of those. The winner goes on to the finals time match. That's me personally being selfish.
Look, this would also be, to me, this would make sense, right? Again, we was talking about brand supremacy. They don't have a Raw superstar versus a SmackDown superstar. They have Raw versus Raw, SmackDown versus SmackDown. As of right,
But Raw's champion will face SmackDown's champion for the title,
exactly,
and
right?
that match will be at Saudi Arabia.
But I'm saying historically, they'll just have a bunch of people just jumbled in. Like you'll have a
Right.
Raw SmackDown for the first round, and like it could end versus a Raw versus Raw. But now I feel like we're getting a clear cut. Like you said, the Raw side, this is the winner for Raw, this is the winner for SmackDown, and y'all gonna fight at King and Queen in Saudi for this for that title right there.
I'm just saying that match specifically should be the one that determines who faces the Raw champion, not the second round.
So you wanted to determine
Add
who
more significance to that match.
who fights
So,
Becky
so,
Lynch.
no. So that's the Raw bracket. The SmackDown bracket potentially could have Bianca and Jade in the second round.
Okay.
That match should be the finals of the SmackDown bracket. Me personally speaking, they haven't. I haven't seen the full SmackDown bracket side of it yet, but that could be announced
That's
later
why I
tonight.
think that's why I think if the winner Jade is gonna win against Piper,
So
right?
for example, I don't want to put it this way, but Jade should be the one seed, or Bianca should be like the eight seed or whatever, and then that way there's no way they can face each other in the second round type shit.
Or
That's how I'm
even the
looking at it.
even the second seed. The first and second don't face each other to the end.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So
So
that's how
it'll be
it
Naomi.
should be.
It'll be Naomi against Bianca or Naomi against Jade in the second round.
Yeah, but I'm saying like it shouldn't be
Or Nia.
it shouldn't be Bianca Jay second round. That's what I'm saying.
No. I agree with that. No. And I hope that's what I hope that they don't do. Like it should be like you're saying the final for the SmackDown side, Jade, Bianca, boom. That's the money right there.
I'm cool with like Bianca Jade or Naomi Bianca. I'm cool with that. But if you want to have the tag team be like the main folks go, or have Bianca and Naomi second round, that way you can have Bianca Jade in the finals or whatever,
I think
something
it's
like
more
that.
if you want to make Jade look the strongest out of them three, you have Jade beat Piper, beat Naomi, then beat Bianca.
Again, I'd have Naomi Bianca as the second round by itself.
Who you set for second round? Naomi and Bianca.
We don't know how the brackets are laid out yet.
I'm not mad at that either, cause I thought about that too. Like you might want to save Jade and Naomi also. You don't want to probably just throw that out there for no reason.
The thing like the second round matchup, regardless, should be Bianca and Naomi by itself,
But we agreeing that Bianca and Jade is the finals for the
or,
SmackDown.
or Naomi, one of the two.
That'd be it.
Either one of them. Either one of them.
I don't think they have the females lose clean. And then also, this is something I also proposed. Also, I was telling my wifey this. Look, Jade and Bianca.
Also, I wouldn't be opposed to Jade Nia Jax final. I
Jade and
wouldn't be
Nia,
opposed to that. Would
they
not be opposed to that.
they had a Royal Rumble showdown.
Uh
They
huh.
brought back. I see Bianca and
But
Jade.
and then there's still two women that have been announced for that bracket. That's not the bracket either.
Do you see Bianca and Jade helping each other in this tournament? Because look, Piper Niven is
No,
part with Chelsea Green.
I don't see none of that happening
Okay.
on either side.
And Candice LeRae will probably have Indy Hartwell on her corner.
Maybe, but again, I mean,
I
I,
found it
I,
interesting too. They also put tag team. They're complaining about the tag team champions being in there, but Piper Niven and Chelsea Green's a tag team. Piper's in. Candice LeRae
but
and Indy's.
again, what show is Chelsea on?
They're on SmackDown, aren't they? Together, Piper and Chelsea.
Chelsea, as I'm looking right now at the call for SmackDown tomorrow, Chelsea has not been announced for the tournament yet.
No, no.
She
I don't
she
think.
could be the live she could be the live event match, but then again, like we don't know how the brackets are laid out yet. Say she could face the winner of Naomi Nia for all we know, or whoever. She could be facing the winner of Bianca Piper tomorrow.
People been saying Tiffany Stratton isn't in that match, and like
I,
in the
I can see if she's announced for the women's side of it and she's on the live event show, she may be the one exception to allow having a match on a live event because you want to see, further exuberate her dominance. But still, it's like I'm not a fan of having one match of each bracket at a live event when everything else is on TV.
okay.
That's just me. It's like because again that just tells you that the folks that are selected for that match specifically are just for the filler. You want this to be a big deal, make it a big deal. Have them all on Raw, SmackDown, and all that stuff. You want to do NXT side, do that.
I think spinning the block on the competitors. I feel like they need to put. Well, they are putting them, but I think that WWE made the right decision putting the strongest competitors in the matches on both sides for men's and women. Even though it
Yeah,
might be
each bracket is definitely stacked. I'll give them that. So they're adding that part to it.
yeah, because I felt like I was happy for Xavier Woods to win the King of the Ring, but it didn't elevate his
Because he would have
career.
been, I think, the second or third person in history to go back to back or just win two in general.
But it didn't do nothing for his career. Like people talk about elevating careers. We seen what it did for Austin, for Brock, for Hunter, for the
How many wrestlers that you could think of won King of the Ring back to back years
Bret
aside
Hart.
from Austin?
Yeah, no.
Again, so so this whole tournament again, prior to Woods getting injured,
But
probably would have been
again, how many King of the Ring winners have been like a comedic relief act? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel like I feel like uh
Booker T.
yeah,
Um,
that's a great one.
let's see,
But he still held world heavyweight gold under that.
Amos.
He still held it as King Booker.
Yeah, so I'm thinking Booker T, Sheamus. I'm trying to think who else.
Wade Barrett, King Barrett. But
No, but you know, you said that work. I'm trying to think of that work
like
comedy.
comedic relief, right?
Barrett's reverted into comedy ultimately. Yeah, aside from Austin and Owen Hart, a lot of yeah have been comedy, unfortunately.
And then it doesn't really do nothing for the like. Oh yeah, they were. In fact, I feel like it actually did worse. They started to go away with the King of the Ring tournament because of the lack of like meaning behind who was winning it.
It used to be on pay per view.
Right. Then it became regulated to a tournament on throughout Raw and SmackDown.
Now that could change under the Triple H regime, but we don't know.
I think this is a good start. King and Queens. I like that title. It don't have to be just King of the Ring no more, or Queen of the Ring for that factor. King and Queen of
But
the
but
Ring.
but the main issue a lot of folks have with it is the finals are going to be in Saudi,
So
and
yeah,
WWE is currently working on a new deal with Saudi because Saudi wants WrestleMania. How do you feel about that?
I read that they want Royal Rumble, or I mean, they could have the
They
Royal
they
Rumble.
want a big four, but they want a big four, but mainly they want WrestleMania
I say this
because they know they can house at least 120,000 motherfuckers in any venue they have. At least.
it'll be a spectacle for sure. Do I think they're gonna make as much noise as maybe like the like I think when you hold it in you got the international, it's a collection of at least that's how the WrestleManias used to be like years prior, where a collection of people come from around the world.
Have you watched a boxing event from Saudi Arabia before?
Um yeah. And the UFC event. Well, the UFC was in
Yeah,
Abu
yeah,
Dhabi.
you see it, yeah, but I mean that's still Saudi Arabia. I mean not quite Saudi Arabia, but it's still like
In a closer
boxing.
region.
They make it basically like an all day event. So they'll have like a concert there, a festival there, all at the same time, whatever the fuck type shit. But the crowds do get kind of loud. Nowhere near as how France was this weekend by or basketball by far. But it will be noticeably loud. It will be at least anywhere from 120 to possibly 150,000 people for one night. If WWE wants to break the infamous WCW New Japan record in Korea, or Collision in Korea, that would be the country to do it with.
That'd be
And I'm sure they could do it too.
do you feel like remember when I was telling you WrestleMania, or I was telling you that I read reports that they were looking to push back the date of WrestleMania into May, and then we get the reports of 419 and 420. Do you think that's just them keeping it in the middle of April? Because I know you also said it's hard for them to take it out of that April area.
WrestleMania historically has always been somewhat close to Easter Sunday. I've noticed that. Um, with them going to Vegas and then going ultimately into a official new era, because again, by then they'll be with Netflix and everything else. So they've already hinted that once Raw goes to Netflix, everything's going to be fair game. So with them going to Vegas, WrestleMania, whatever, 420 weekend, ironically Easter Sunday, they're just there just to maximize their revenue.
Okay, so all right.
Now the question is, it'll likely be at Allegiant Stadium where the Raiders play because that's the biggest venue they have. It makes no sense for them to run the Sphere because the Sphere barely fits maybe 13,000 people. So as far as maximized capacity, it would have to be Allegiant Stadium. So again, that during the football games they can house 65K with their usual 20 by 20 rigs, and depending how their setup goes, they might be able to squeeze 81 to 83,000 people there.
I could see that. It'll be a
Yeah,
better.
and a generous 83 is that's including standing room. So that's like absolute maximum, but definitely at least 81,000 people they could fit there.
I think they gonna go crazy over there. 'Cause I feel like they might bring like I
It's
don't know.
Vegas 420. What else could you expect as far as a concoction?
Yeah, like, I feel like there's gonna be like it's too early to tell now, but I'm saying that what's today, May 10th, they're gonna have a specialty match at the next WrestleMania.
All I'm saying is, I can't book any hotel reservations for that time next year for another 3 weeks.
Mm,
I'm gonna try to go to that. I don't
mm,
even care if it's for just like the indies and all that shit. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna be in Vegas that weekend. Best believe.
that'd be
Y'all
dope.
guys go too.
That'd be dope. That'd be dope right there. So yeah, I mean, one thing I wanted to touch on too, because I said it was gonna be a theme of the night. How did you feel about the episode of Raw coming out of Backlash? Did you feel like it was a little bit low energy? I mean, obviously the pay per view what was what the pay per view was. SmackDown was lit. Raw was it felt like it dragged a bit.
Now, assuming those same fans watched Backlash, watched the NBA playoffs, the NHL playoffs, watch the UFC pay-per-view, watch the boxing pay-per-view, potentially watch New Japan in the process. It's Cinco de Mayo weekend. They're all tired. I was tired too.
Man, who you? That's the look. I'm gonna be complete.
That's just me being realistic. It's like, again, there's a lot of shit going on that weekend.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be completely transparent. I had to go to a kid's party, so I was super tired, having to get up. Matter of fact, we watched New Japan that night going into the morning. Then to get up, watch Backlash, go to the kids' party. I didn't even get to see the Canelo fight. I didn't see
I
the
get, I get. So again, UFC, you're not gonna miss much. If you can watch the Canelo fight, I'd love to pick a brain on that because I thought it was a great fight.
Hmm. I got
If I can find a league, I'll send that to you. But again, like again, it's probably on YouTube by now. But I definitely want to pick your brain on that
yeah,
in a
yeah,
future show.
yep. So they Canelo he they say he won by decision.
He won by unanimous decision. But again, once you watch the fight, I'll go further detail on how that fight went and my thoughts on that. So we'll leave that for chat as an Easter egg right there.
Yep, yep. There was a lot going on that weekend, so yeah, I could definitely see the crowd being tired for Raw. SmackDown also we covered the Queen side of the tournament. Um, Tamatunga versus Angelo Dawkins, but it was initially supposed to be Bobby Lashley. How do you feel about that matchup? What's going on with Bobby Lashley? Do you have any news on that?
I haven't decided anything yet, but I mean, if you look at most of those folks, they're also running house shows too. So it's probably just a little wear and tear, to be honest. And they're just putting them on the back burner. Hey, just chill. We'll have something for you after Saudi. He'll probably maybe challenge for the U.S. belt, maybe the speed belt, whatever. Depending on how serious they want that to be, or whatever. But I mean, they'll always have something for Lashley.
And then right before I want to get back into that Lashley conversation, Randy Orton versus AJ Styles as a King of the Ring tournament continues right there.
That's gonna be fun to watch.
Did you feel like WWE prematurely announced these names and then had to like reassess, or was this part of the play? Like, let's just announce it anyway, get some hype behind it, and then we'll just switch. We'll switch was convenient. Obviously, we seen the few switches that
No,
were within the faction, except Jay Uso and Drew McIntyre.
but a lot of the changes have been via freak accidents or wear and tear from house shows.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how it's been presented to us. Like it's either wear and tear or freak accident from elsewhere.
What do you see? Do you see what if Tamatunga wins King of the Ring? I mean, he
I
had
can I can definitely see a situation to where it's him versus either AJ or Randy in the final. Definitely Randy versus in the finals
and then
because,
back.
or just well, just me being a fan of both of them. That's one of those, like I might have to fucking buy a ticket myself to go watch it in person type shit. 'Cause that's one of my personal dream matches. Shout out Tony Khan.
Mm. He would have had a field day with these type of bookings right here. Because I'm
That's
looking,
damn near that match alone is damn near his wet dream.
Tamatunga goes over. I'm crying. What dream? Tamatunga over Angelo right there. I could see, um, if the bloodline have to, they'll dispose of the street profits. Bobby Lashley's
Yeah.
obligation. I don't see
Hold
him
on, is Montez in the tournament or no
from
for
what I
SmackDown?
know. I don't even think. You know what? I don't see him. How do you see the brackets? Where you seeing the brackets at?
I don't see it. So I haven't seen the official bracket. I've just seen what's announced for SmackDown. So SmackDown has 3 women's matches, 2 men's matches.
Yeah,
So Raw has 4 men's, 4 women's. I would anticipate SmackDown has the same. So we could be seeing 2 men's, 1 women's match for SmackDown at a house show potentially. So
mm.
who knows how that shit is? And again, that's what I'm not a big fan of this tournament. You had a
Yeah,
chance to make this seem like a big deal once again, like it used to be, and you already just like, eh.
because it's gonna be very interesting to see. Like, do you give this to one of the up and comers on Raw, or and I'm speaking on the men's side? Do you give the King of the Ring to one of the up and comers on Raw?
Based on what's visible right now, I'm giving it to Ilya. No contest.
And who he defeats on the SmackDown side?
Probably Tama or maybe Randy or AJ. Probably
I,
Randy or AJ.
yeah, I could see one of them too.
But yeah, I can see Ilya getting his run back versus Gunter in the finals to advance to the Saudi show. I can see him beating probably Randy or AJ in the finals of that as a whole. That way you have Ilya set up as the absolute monster king and all that fun shit. And then he's set from there.
That would be something right there too.
But
I
as
see.
of right now, they're not giving me much of a reason to want to root for anyone on the SmackDown side that's been named as of yet.
I'm trying to see if I could find a bracket real quick.
I don't think SmackDown's released their bracket yet, to be honest.
Oh yeah, Zoe Stark and Ivy Nile happen. So they announced Drew, but that turned to Jay versus Finn, Kofi versus Ray, Ricochet versus Ilya, Gunther versus Sheamus.
So maybe this afternoon we'll get the full bracket, more than likely. But as of right now, the bracket tells me it ain't gonna be something from SmackDown winning. There's no reason. There's no reason to put it on Tama, and there's no reason for AJ nor Randy to win at all.
Okay, so I have a here we go. Now I got a actual visual, actual graphic
Is
of
it
this.
Dave Meltzer's?
Yes. Nah. I don't know. See. This is off MSN. All right, but Peacock. Guess this
That
is off.
might be family, to be honest, but it looks like the full bracket. That's the men's side.
So Jay Uso. Okay, so they have the updated bracket. The updated bracket.
Carmelo and Corbin will probably be the last event match.
Oh, they don't have the update. LA Knight had one. Didn't he go over on? No, no, he that was last week. He went over
No,
on.
no, no. This tournament stuff will be tonight.
Yeah, it's look. We forgot about these guys.
But yeah, so I either Escobar. No, I don't see Escobar. Escobar LA Knight and Melo and Corbin be the house show matches.
These are not gonna be the winners. So all right, so It'll be or in a style.
It's gonna be Ilya and Gunter, and one of them's gonna win it all. That much is confirmed already.
So then Tamatunga, he gonna run
Everyone
through.
else SmackDown's gonna be fodder.
Randy Orton gets his get back from the pay-per-view.
Maybe.
Cause
And again, everyone's gonna.
I don't see Tunga losing to, the only way I see him losing is if they like DQ or something, or like something like the way that it's just set up, like he might go crazy on Angelo Dawkins.
Angelo Docs will probably get squashed.
LA Knight might be the one to beat him. But then what? We gonna have
no,
LA Knight versus Orton?
no. They'll sacrifice Santos for that. I'm calling it.
So they're gonna let Santos go overnight on some foolery.
No, yeah, and then they'll sacrifice Santos to Tama.
Yeah, because then also on the flip side of that, like LA Knight will have to beat Tonga and then spin the block on AJ Styles again for King of the Ring is kind of crazy. The trilogy for the King of the Ring. Man,
They may just do either Orton Tama or AJ Tama for the finals. I don't see anything other than that.
I'm gonna be honest. I feel like AJ Styles
But
might.
the winner will get either get Gunter or Ilya.
Yeah, I feel like Styles gonna pull an upset. I feel like Dragunov is a lock. I agree with you there. I don't see nobody else. If for whatever,
Because again, the only guy that because the only guy that's got a dub over Ilya is Gunter.
look, what's the chances of Jay beating Ilya? Main event Jay. He beat Finn Balor, former champion.
In the words of Pat McAfee, "Star about it."
Rey Mysterio.
Thank you for coming.
I would like to see Rey Mysterio versus Gunther, but I feel like they're gonna give Kofi the win.
It's going to be Kofi because Ross teased Kofi's running King of the Ring in honor of Xavier Woods because Woods should have been in the tournament. Woods should have been the first person since Austin to win back-to-back King of the Rings, or to win two King of the Rings, to that matter.
So that'll be Gunther versus Kofi. Obviously, we agree that Gunther, and I honestly feel like now that I'm looking at this bracket, I feel like yeah, Dragunov. I could see Dragunov beating Jay Uso and then Jay Uso dapping him up. Like, yeah, good shit. Yeet. I could.
No, no. Jay's gonna beat him last April, so either gonna knock his ass the fuck out or hit that H bomb. Jay's just gonna be laying there like I got
Yeet.
knocked the fuck out. Yeet.
Man,
And
that's
then,
gonna be.
and then before Saudi, we may get a stare down between Ilya and Gunter. And then
Yeah.
Michael Cole and Maxwell will replay the highlights of their previous matches, which were absolute classics. But whoever wins that match will win the King of the Ring tournament. It ain't gonna be someone from SmackDown.
I'm gonna be honest. The way that this shit is set up, with the exception of Kofi Kingston, hell, I'm not even gonna lie. Even if Kofi Kingston wins this shit, he could be like Booker T with it.
Could
But
be.
I think anybody else that wins this shit is gonna come out looking like money, calling themselves King of the Ring. Anybody that wins this is not gonna hurt them.
Because,
But
because, because for example, say Tama wins it all.
mm,
His pops was the King of the Ring once upon a time. King Haku.
bro, it
It's
just
his
cements
lineage.
more. That's what I'm saying. It adds more to the story of the bloodline.
Like you could say the new tribal chief, but the Tongans got the kings in their blood.
And remember, we kicked out Jimmy Uso for Tamatonga because Jimmy wasn't doing nothing. Jimmy wasn't bringing us championships, wasn't doing nothing. This could be the
Yep.
first sign of dominance. Like, look, I came through my first month on the job, King of the Ring, or first
I
few months. Like,
check the pedigree, check the resume is good.
man, I'm not a. That's what I'm saying. I'm not. I wouldn't be mad at that. Like, I feel like that's like the obvious, like fan driven route right there. Like, oh, Tamatonga's into the bloodline. Like, oh, you know what
But
I'm saying?
again, I'm afraid they won't bring. I don't know if Cole will bring that up unless Tama makes it to the finals for SmackDown.
Mm,
Yeah, unless he's facing AJ or Randy in the finals, I doubt they're going to bring that up.
that they kicked out Jimmy, right?
I'm talking about the SmackDown side.
Mm. But bring up which
You
one?
know, Tama Lashley, Tama will get the winner of LA Knight Shinsuke, and then that they'll face the winner of either AJ, Randy, Corbin, or Mello, which would probably be AJ or Randy.
I feel like AJ gonna beat
I'd be,
Randy.
I honestly be surprised if we get like a Tama Mello situation or even an LA Knight Mello situation because like Tama versus Randy AJ makes the most sense to me.
Yep, that makes the most sense. Yep. I just feel like it's gonna be interesting to see the dynamic of the Randy Orton and AJ Styles matchup.
That'll probably be the main event of SmackDown, and that'll just be a barn burner.
I feel like they surprised us with AJ Styles. Like, there's moments when look, he loses against Seth Rollins for the title. Boom. He's out the little picture. He's feuding with who he's feuding with. He loses to LA Knight at WrestleMania. Now in the tournament to see or to see who's gonna be number one contender for Cody Rhodes, he ends up winning. So I don't know. Like, they be doing that up and down stuff with AJ Styles. I
Yeah,
would have
but
he
AJ
won
AJ
though.
is the only one with references to the Too Sweet.
Hmm. I feel like if Tonga was to damn, that'd be crazy what I'm thinking right
Uh oh,
now.
let it out.
Crazy
Let
what I'm
it
thinking
out.
right now. Okay. What if somehow Tonga, like you're saying, goes against Randy Orton, right? In
Right,
the finals. He wins. All right. Now we got Dragunov versus Tonga at Saudi.
which would be one hell of a match in its own right.
And who comes back to ruin Tonga's moment? The tribal chief. Or they could just play his music. The distraction of. And then now
I could even see a world where again they tease the old song, and it's Cody that crosses Tama Tonga because he
mm,
knows what that man is capable of. He knows that man's lineage. He knows that he is the seed of the baddest motherfucker in history.
because I'm thinking like, all right, let's say you remove these guys, right? Let's say process of elimination. The final is going to be one match at King and the Queen of the Ring. You got Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch announced as they're gonna do that as a championship match, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
If Tonga doesn't make it to the finals, Randy doesn't make it to the finals, do they have a one-on-one match in Saudi to blow off their steam? Or do you feel like they blowing off
No,
the steam in this tournament?
I think if anything, Jenny might have a match with Solo or something like that in Saudi, and then Tom interferes that, and that's how we reunite the Usos together, or something like that.
Mm.
But again, like if Tama doesn't advance, and he's definitely going to be involved with whatever Solo's doing, if he's involved in the Saudi show at that matter.
Ooh, oh no, I'm doing too much. This is where the fanism gets to me right here. The bloodlineism. What if Jay Uso versus Tama Tonga in the finals, and we get Roman Reigns
You could definitely do that just to plant the
or
seeds
Jimmy?
for Usos versus God.
Yup, the Usos.
Would not be opposed to that either.
Jimmy come back to help Jay in Saudi.
Hmm.
Mm.
Because Jay has always said he don't give a damn, or he was the initial one that was told he's gonna be the next tribal chief. He was king of the ring. Roman comes back out the blue, whatever, before or after SummerSlam and says, "You did it." But my issue with that is it would be WWE coordinated him, not Roman, which could possibly lead to another Roman versus Jay match, which I don't think
Mm.
we needed right away.
Nah, we do not need that. Think the more logic, but you see, this is where it's a numbers game to me. So unless Solo stops coming out with Tonga now, like I guess we're gonna find out tonight if Tonga comes out with his brother.
It'll probably all of them, to be honest.
That's what I'm thinking. So even if Jay Uso was to face Tonga in the finals, one Jimmy Uso coming back is enough. Or like you said, is
Uh,
it just done to plant the seed? Like, oh yeah, we got Jimmy Uso, but Tama Tonga still wins that.
yeah, we beat up both the Usos. We'll set up Usos and UD, and then boom, you hear the tribal chief come back.
hmm And Solo with the ultimate look of what the fuck.
And then which leads into the Bloodline versus the Ones.
hmm Man, I love that name. The ones. Or day ones, the ones, day ones. Both of them shit sound good. I like them shits. I remember we was saying that shit the last time. That sound like money right there.
It could be money for them.
Yeah, that's another interesting, like, they kind of just hijacked the bloodline. Like, I
Well,
mean,
I mean, if you think about it, they're trying to find ways to keep it fresh, but the bet it's been around for 3 4 years already. The best way to keep it fresh is let it disappear in the winds. That way, you keep it fresh. It'll
I
be
think
there
they
whenever you need it.
I think they need to me personally, I think it'll make it cool if remember the NWO was obviously black and white, which they don't need no color change. The black and red is fine for the bloodline. Just feel like they need like a side name, like a subdivisionary name. Like remember how the Wolf Pack was the Wolf Pack, but like they were black,
Here,
black and red. Like you don't gotta not
here,
call them the bloodline, but
here's the only the only issue I have with this. All right, Roman still got to run it back with his Shield brother. That's the
nah,
only problem I have with all of this.
do you make like a shield
Because
2.0 or do you just call yourself the shield and you have you and Seth?
well, you can still have the ones, but in order to have that side or whatever finished, before you even think about all that, Roman's still got to run it with Seth.
Mm.
because again, that never really got resolved. Roman has never beaten Seth Rollins in a match one on one, and he has to vindicate that before he can move on to anything else. So, again, I'm all for it, but before we would get to whatever bloodline the one's war for, whatever, it's going to have to be Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. It's the same reason why when Brock Lesnar came back,
I
he
think
had
that
to get his run backs real quick to solidify everything else.
I don't oppose to that. The only problem with that is right now, Seth Rollins is hurt, so it's like you would have to have either one or
And
two
I was on vacation in Disneyland on the island of relevancy.
right. You would have to have one of the two come back before the other, then plant them seeds.
Okay, you got SummerSlam, you got Survivor Series, you got plenty of time.
But I think like I would want to see Roman go after Seth rather than Seth coming back to fuck with Roman. Like
Okay, so say you have Seth Rollins challenge the one, or no, honestly, Seth and Roman doesn't that don't even need a title belt, so
what if they
you
come
could just
back at the same time?
you could do that or whatever, and then you got Seth come back saying I'm back, boom, 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 boom. You can do the lights go out gimmick, or you just cue the tribal chief music since he's technically a free agent,
Roman Reigns
and
30 in the Royal Rumble.
no, it'd be too late for that to happen. To be honest, it had to be well before Royal Rumble for this match to happen.
Mm.
I'm thinking SummerSlam's your best bet only because that'll probably be when you get Cody Rock because you're gonna have to get those matches out of the way before you get Roman and Rock at Mania in Vegas because that's gonna be your headliner.
That's when everything starts to feel a little bit rushed, a little bit like it's like
How does
okay,
it feel rushed?
huh?
How does it feel rushed?
Because I don't know how long Seth Rollins is hurt for.
So from what I was reading, it's just wear and tear on his body. Yeah, he's got the back spasms, the knee aches, and all that, but it's just wear and tear.
Also, he don't got to go through no surgeries right now. He's just taking
No, no
time off.
surgeries. It's just he just needs to let his body heal, let the batteries recharge.
Okay, okay, okay. So
If
yeah,
there's any surgeries, we would have heard about that after Mania because Triple H would have wanted us to rehab ASAP.
cause that's the only thing that's concerning me. His time saving. Because I know basically
Because Rollins, he was
ready
kicking
to
at
go
Rollins has been kicking at the NFL draft. He's been kicking it at the Kentucky Derby, the Formula One stuff in Miami. He's been kicking it everywhere.
with the new look.
Yeah, that's something.
Looking like a new guy out there, rejuvenated.
More like a 1920s used car salesman.
Man,
Oh, goddamn auctioneer.
had the internet going nuts. He cut his hair. He cut his hair.
Motherfucker was bald. He just cut his beard.
Man, that was
He,
insane.
he's always, he's always had a high fade to cut the hair, and assuming he's keeping the hair. If he cuts that hair up, I would be legitimately surprised. But that shit would have been known by now.
I mean, I think the most if he did was trim down the hair he probably already had the shoulder length that like just a little bit shorter,
Yeah,
but
get the split ends out the way, get the little quick taper, line everything up, and just take that shit in the hat.
yep. He looked like he had a Happy Corbin, Madcap Moss thing going on that day.
But this was the first time he trimmed the beard since probably his Ring of Honor days.
I'm not gonna lie too. Like these wrestlers, they change their looks. Like one moment you'll see a guy with no beard, and then the next moment he got a beard, like nothing.
But Seth has never cut the beard.
Crazy.
So that's why folks are just going like, wait a minute.
Yo, nah, yeah, it's been some years. Like years have passed by, so it's shocking to see for them. You know what I'm saying? I was that's so surprised because I feel like when the blonde hair thing went away, it's kind of like I look
Oh,
at
yeah,
him.
no shit going on.
Yeah, I kind of look at him like somebody that likes to like do a little something different from time to time. And
keep everything fresh.
yeah. He doesn't keep the same look, the same gimmick for too long.
I was surprised he actually dyed the hair with full on show gimmick in between WrestleMania shows, prepping for that one spot where his ass couldn't even walk.
Mm.
Did you catch that video where like he's like dragging his whole body to get in the ring before Roman gets in that spear
Yep.
before he
Oh,
he
yeah,
laid in that chair?
yep.
Yeah,
Yep. That was tough.
yeah, and you could see like this man cannot he can't even move.
I think if he had been healthy, they might have put him in this tournament even.
Yeah, no, but again, no, he needed the break. You know that even if he lost the belt or whatever at Mania, he needed the time off.
I mean, I feel like what's crazy about that time period too, that like I don't know, like if this happens every WrestleMania, but for me, this feels like the first time that in a while that everything that happened at WrestleMania was like that a real closure to a lot
Hmm.
minus of the bloodline storyline because that's still lingering. But everything really feels like we're in a new age,
Yeah,
new set of roster.
everything with Saw Mania was the ending of those chapters,
Yep, correct.
the closing of those books.
Opening, also poetically opening of new chapters too, right?
Hmm.
Like you
We're
see,
turning the page.
we're turning the page because you see the going away of the undisputed tag team belts, the blue and the red belts, and then
Everyone's getting new designs. NXT is getting a women's. How do we put this? Is it respectful? Is it rude to say a mid card belt, or is that overboard? Can we call it a mid card belt for the women's North American Championship?
I mean they say it's a mid card belt. I
I'm
would just
not trying to be rude. That's all because I know how the internet can be.
no, yeah, I feel that. I mean that's what they're calling it. I mean, I guess people and look, if they acknowledge some spots as jobbers, then I guess it's not disrespectful to say it is what it is, right? It's the mid
Hmm.
title. It's not main event title. It's the mid card title. So
And again, we don't see women get new titles very often. So again, so we have the women's world title, tag titles. So now we're having the North American title. So essentially, one would call it a mid card title. But again, great for them. This is a testament to their work.
I think when you have an abundance of talent and you kind of stronghold yourself into a type
Th-
of
This is this is how you reward them.
yeah, and then you strangle yourself into a crop of like, for example, when you say world heavyweight in boxing, heavyweight can only contend if you're a heavyweight.
Hmm.
So when they had the cruiserweights in years prior, it made sense. But I feel
And
like
uh, and
205
then you have the European belt, you have the Harker belt, whatever. I believe they're calling this one the Women's North American Championship. So I would presume that would be their mid card belt because we already have a men's North American belt. But again, great for them. This is only a positive for NXT as a whole.
even like that, right? I'm glad you mentioned on NXT. Your NXT champion. That means he's the champion of NXT. This is the guy that we're gonna send to do whatever public appearances.
Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick.
You know what
Whoop
I'm saying?
that trick.
You got sexy red making tweets about Rick Williams,
That was funny as hell.
right? Like this is the eyes. These are the type of eyes that Trick Williams, like he's involved in the battle rap culture. Shout out to DNA. Shout out to
So
K-Dot,
so
you know what I'm saying? He's involved in the battle rap culture.
let me get a heads up. So like I have folks that knew I was a fan of wrestling. These are hip hop fans that are texting me, "Who's Trick Williams?"
Mm,
Sexy Red shouted them out, and I'm
that's
like,
crazy.
I had to put them on. It's like,
Yeah.
it,
And that's the reach that Trick Williams got right now. And it's dope. And then the mid card title with no disrespect, but that's the workhorse title for everybody. That's the groom for the. Oh, all right, you holding this title because we priming you to get you ready for the next title.
Now again, I'm not trying to be rude. Who is currently the North American champion for NXT?
Oba, I hope I'm gonna botch his name because it's always hard for
Oba
me.
Fime?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Okay, all right.
Oba female, and
Uh,
he's a fucking
all
beast,
right.
bro.
Yeah, again, I haven't seen too much of him. From what I have seen of him, he's a monster.
I like, you know what I enjoyed about his rollout, his layout was how they really had that breakthrough tournament. So it made sense. Okay, this is a fresh crop of talent. It's not like you just place some fucking dude randomly on an episode. There was a purpose why these random people are here. It's a breakthrough
And
tournament.
and
Like,
I don't know if you noticed, they've done that with the NXT women's, and they've done that the NXT Combine.
yeah, and that's dope.
So yeah, again, as long as it works, as long as they have the bodies to still say whatever we're trying to do, it works. It's effective. I'm invested in it. You're definitely invested in it. Let it ride.
Yeah, because I like also what they did with giving what was Brooks Jensen's partner name? I forget his name right now. But they gave him and Dijak the triple threat match with Oba. They put on the banger. Uh, but I can't.
Dijak is going to be something special on Raw.
Yeah. Oh, I'm glad he's back on Raw, and I hope that they give him a good look. Those are two people I think would be great with the IC belt. You either give it to Braun Breaker or you give it to
My
Dijak.
my
Mm-hmm.
my only concern is where the fuck is Dexter Loomis?
Rumored to be part of the Wyatt Six. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's the name floating around.
I can see that.
That's been a name floating around.
There's been a few names rotating around and all that, but that's a name I haven't heard yet. But that's also a name to me personally, knowing how his character's been over the years in NXT, makes perfect sense to me.
It makes
He's,
sense
he's very, very
too.
stoic, very physical. And again, I'm not trying to speak ill or whatever, but his physical prowess is very Brody Lee-esque, which I appreciate. And again, if he's one of the six, I look forward to watching that.
Let me see. I'm gonna type in Dexter Loomis, see if there's any Dexter Loomis news.
Because last I saw, he appeared on whatever show Indy Hartwell was on, and they had their little sexy Dexter segment. That was it.
Yeah, I haven't seen. It's been a while since I've seen him on TV. It's been a while. Okay, so they saying he recently shared a picture of himself, Dexter Loomis.
Okay.
Let me see if I can see the actual picture. They just where did he post his picture at? Where did he share this picture at?
It's probably either some fan caught it on IG, or I doubt he posted it himself.
His social media post. Okay, so I guess it would have to be the Instagram.
But on the topic of the Wyatt Six, aside from him, Joe Gacy, Braun Strowman, Eric Rowan, who would the other two be? We've heard Nikki Cross, we've heard Alexa Bliss. There's only going to be one woman in there, so you figure, yeah, one woman spot, one male spot.
Mm. One male spot, one woman spot.
hmm Assuming it's going to be Eric Rowan, Braun Strowman, Dexter Loomis in there. But then again, you could also argue Karen Cross is going to be in there with Scarlett. both of them could be out of it. So then again, that would leave one male spot, one female spot potentially.
Hmm. I feel like I don't know why my mind is taking me to trying to think of people that have long hair to be in this faction.
We're
Like
talking the male or female.
male. Like I'm trying to think of what talent has long hair because everybody I feel like Braun Strowman has his mohawk, Eric Rowan is bald, Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, whatever he's gonna present himself as, he'll probably be the one with long hair.
I
Joe
mean, Cross
Gacy,
kind of has long hair, kind of.
yeah. Because when I'm thinking early Wyatt family, like if they want to capture something from the early Wyatt family vibe, the thing that was menacing was you got Eric Rowan, so that might be it right there. But also like a Brody Lee kind of figure, or someone that another like Braun Strowman kind of figure.
Okay, so as far as the weird, socially awkward persona, who that has a pre-submission currently fits that bill that isn't carrying Cross?
Mm.
Now, granted, Carry Cross's name has been talked in the hat too, but I don't see him uh, joining that anytime soon. Yeah, I'm not sure who could quite join them, to be honest. I mean, you could argue Joe Gacy, but
You know what
if
my
Bo's
man
gonna be if, if Joe's gonna be the mouthpiece, I mean, Gacy kind of makes no sense.
Cap was telling me something that his brother had mentioned. So shout out to Cap brother. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Adam. He was mentioning that imagine if Dominic Dominic Mysterio got into the Wyatt Six somehow, and that exposes like they get him to expose the darker side of him, and now he finally wears a mask and finally lives up to being the mysterious name. How you feel about a mistake?
Yeah,
Like
but again, how do we get there physically?
I feel like the way that it's abduction, mind tricks, Jedi mind tricks.
I mean that'll to me that only makes sense if Priest or Finn has a role in it. Which again, I don't see how it makes sense for them to have any role in it.
Mm.
Yeah,
I would,
so
I can't think of nobody else right now. It might be a newer talent. That's why I probably can't think of them. It might be somebody.
if we're excluding overall appearance and purely on ability, I wouldn't be mad if they recruited like someone like a Tommaso Ciampa.
Mm,
It'd be a bit of a stretch, but he has the experience of doing the sadistic roles that again just do as you're told type stuff, and he just ain't afraid to get down and dirty.
mm. It'd be interesting. What if like they really just add somebody that was like a maybe a rival with Bray Wyatt, like meaning like remember when Randy Orton was in the Wyatt family at one point?
Hmm.
Obviously Danny Bryan is under contract with AEW, but he was in the Wyatt family under one point. Matt Hardy, his name has been floated. I don't know what his contract's looking like.
So Matt's a free agent. He claims Jeff's a free agent, but folks think that he's gonna have some time owed to AEW. But Matt's swearing to God that him and Jeff are free agents right now.
It'd be crazy if they let Brother Nero and Broken Matt and Wyatt Six. That'd be crazy.
Which again, I wouldn't rule out, but
That's a stretch, though. It's a stretch. The Brother Nero is a
it,
stretch.
again, yeah, because I'm not quite certain how much time Jeff is in limbo with AEW. That's
And
the only question right
he,
there.
he's a PR nightmare, but it's under a different.
I mean, he's a PR nerd because of Vince. It's like again,
Yeah, it's a
Triple
different
H knows
regime.
that Triple H knows that just gonna be Jeff. Jeff's gonna want to do dumb shit on occasion, and Triple said, "Okay, you get one shot to do this. Get it over with. Don't die." So we'll see how that goes. Um, I kind of don't see Alexa Bliss being that women's role. I don't know why, but some
People
are saying
room and Nikki Cross.
yeah, a lot of folks saying Nikki Cross is going to be that person.
I could see Nikki Cross. They haven't been doing anything with her. I love when she's in that sadistic role. I think that's when her in ring work is the best.
Because what last time I seen her was what they lifted that pumpkin and her head was just standing there
Hmm.
or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember them haven't been using her much either. But
Yeah,
yeah,
so she could be one.
that's it. When do you think? All right, so just to wrap it up right there, like where do you think we see a actual Wyatt, like the Wyatt Six appearance? When's the
Well,
first?
that just depends. Do they want to? Well, two things. One, do they want to pull that trigger before or after the Jacob Fatu stuff? And also, say they pull the Jacob Fatu stuff beforehand. How long do you let that wait? So you have one window of 2 to 3 weeks and another window of about 5 to 8 weeks. Which window are you leaning towards?
Mm,
Because again, with Triple H, he's not gonna drop everything all at once and just burning out before SummerSlam. He's gonna let shit marinate for a minute. But which story takes more precedent right now?
the bloodline storyline right now because it makes more sense. It's more actually. It's active. It's actively active. We having matches. We're having a lot going on within that one storyline. I think that's actively active. We want to continue that. Um, I know this is far fetched. What if like Taker is like a consultant for the Wyatt Six?
What of who?
Undertaker is like a consultant for Wyatt Six.
Yeah, but in what regard though?
That's where like maybe you just use him in backstage vignettes. Them like maybe both speaking with him, Uncle Howdy speaking with the dead man.
I mean, it makes more sense for them to take her out than to have him hold on
Mm,
to everything.
mm. That'll be an impactful start right there. That'll be an impactful start. They take out a legend to start.
Yeah, because the question always been how do you introduce them?
That's what I'm
There's never been
saying.
a clear way to how to introduce them aside from these vignettes we've been getting. Um, but then again, it's like if you bring Taker in, he can't really take most of the bumps, I would assume. But also, depending on the timing you bring him in, do you sacrifice like a Finn or a JD if it's a Judgment Day segment or what?
Yeah,
But then again, how do we get there?
right. It'll just have to be whatever their attack is. It has to be random, I would think. Or if they would have to if they being booked as face, they would have to be stopping an entity, in my opinion, like another powerful
Yeah,
faction.
yeah, but no one's ever taken Judgment Day seriously,
Right.
and no one's ever really after Roman or Brock, no one's really ever taken Taker's streak seriously, because it's not even Mania season, so
And
you're in a rock and a hard place already.
I mean, I felt like the most logical for them to start is taking the tag team championships before any singles championships.
Raw or SmackDown championships.
I would say SmackDown being that A Town Down Under holds those right now, but both are expendable. Like both tag team champions right now aren't even real teams. Like to me, like Awesome Truth is more of a team than A Town Down Under. But
Hmm.
even so, like I went back and I looked like the Awesome Truth. I believe this is their first time going around as a face tag team.
It is
They
because
were more he-
They were heels in 2012.
yeah, like and they was telling the crowd, "You suck, you suck." Instead of "What's up?" Like I went back and watched the episode. I'm like, "Oh, I forgot that
That's when,
Awesome."
Truth would hit his stuff on Cena and just bust out a Newport or some shit.
Yeah, he was wilding at that time. So I feel like they both expendable to me, honestly.
Yeah,
You
but
can
which one do you deem? Which team do you deem the least worthy?
um
The veterans or the new
yeah,
guys?
I wouldn't say the least worthy because I personally feel
That's what it's
Grayson
going to come down
Waller
to.
the least worthy though. Damn. I,
Essentially, yeah.
I marketing wise, Miz is from Ohio, so it makes sense for him to walk into SummerSlam as a champion. And
Hmm.
and you don't have to defend the SmackDown belts on SummerSlam that night if you have the Miz and Truth defending and showing up. So I feel like you could take the belts away from Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Maybe they the less deserving out of the two
So would
because
you have them drop it at Clash? Is the next question.
again, right? How do we get
Because
there?
'cause I think that'd be the show before SummerSlam. I think.
Right. So if we could build up right there an appearance from Wyatt Six Challenge, then we got something. Because I feel like it got to start somewhere, and everything else, with the exception of the U.S. title, looks like they're caught up. And then, all right, let's say you go for a singles title. Who or you, Braun Strowman? He's on Raw though, so he would have to challenge Sammy.
Yeah, but also I don't think that's the faction that needs the belts right away
Mm.
because
Yeah, so we gonna have them come
because
in
their whole purpose is just to fuck shit up.
right. And see, but I feel like I'm tired of that angle. That's how what was that group that came up that Dijak was in before and Meacham?
Or Retribution.
Yeah, like they just came up causing havoc and then they just got put in regular matches. Like I don't want to see
Oh
that
yeah.
if that's the direction they go. Like they cause havoc and then get put into regular matches. And honestly, too, I think AOP they look like strong competitors for the SmackDown tag team titles. I wouldn't mind seeing them with the belts either.
Didn't they have the NXT belts once upon a time or no?
Yep.
So again, they're safe hands. Yes, they're a little tad bit green, but they're still very physical. They can hold their own. I mean, their only weakness is they burn themselves out. But again, it's like once they kind of get more match under their belt, they'll figure that shit out.
Hmm.
Yeah, I can see that.
On Raw side, I don't see I don't see much on Raw side.
Yeah, I said Raw. It's going to be Ilya and Gunter. I mean that much is obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, with all due respect, this couldn't be much any more obvious of a King of the Ring tournament than we've ever had in history.
Um, I guess another match that's happening on this card at the PLE is Bronson Reed, Chad Gable, Sami Zayn for the IC belt.
Because the triple threat.
Who you got walking off as a champion?
It'll probably be Sami for the feel good moment, honestly,
What's
and
up?
that'll probably be the main event too.
Okay, you think that'll main event it right there?
Yeah, because saying his heritage and history of all that stuff.
Mm. And they haven't announced any other championship match for that card in terms of Damian Priest or Cody.
They likely won't. They likely won't.
Okay, so we got an IC, a women's championship, King and Queen of the Ring being determined. It's three so far announced matches in Saudi. Maybe slated for two more.
Well, yeah, I figure Saudi will probably be more of a 3 hour show, so 4 to 7 matches might be what we get.
And we just announced three. So probably
Yep.
got 3 to 4 more to go, chat. And we'll get
Mm,
those
eh,
out.
probably 1 to 4 matches because they
Yeah.
could announce one, and that could be a whole card for all we know.
Yep. I mean, then this tournament is gonna shape out, so we're gonna really get a more look of, like I said, once some of these participants get eliminated, we might see a match have like a match formulated with these participants going on to the card. Yeah, I
Probably
mean,
not, honestly,
we're going.
because again, I mean, as obvious as we can kind of foreshadow these cards, they probably look at it the same way, if not more obvious. So most of these matches, much like the early stages of the best Super Juniors and the G1 that will get later this year with New Japan, will just be straight filler.
Yeah, like I could see Ricochet being in Saudi just having a random match. Him and Braun Strowman versus or like the Awesome Truth versus somebody else. So they're gonna have just like random match.
They could, but because they're trying to push more of a Western audience, it may just be a couple of men's matches and then a few women's matches more than anything else.
If they put another Natalia match out there, man, I'm gonna lose it.
So I guess either having the Raw women's match, have it a title bout, the women's side for SmackDown, and then the tag belts.
Yeah, that
I see that being 3 out of the 5 matches for the Saudi card.
that is true. That is four. That's four, right? The women's side of the Queen ring. The men's, the women's championship, and I see that's 4 matches.
Because they'll try to push for that Western inclusivity type shit, and then it'll draw big numbers with the Saudi crowd, and then it'll go from there, and then you may get 2 or 3 men's matches on top of that card.
That's it. There y'all go. We got the lineup right there for y'all. That's it.
And I don't mean to put it this way, but for the time being, the next Saudi card could be as close as we get to Evolution 2.
Mm,
And I hate to put it that way, but that's just calling a spade a spade.
hot take. Hot take. Oh, welcome
Hmm
your thoughts, baby. Yes, sir.
Just keeping it a thou wow.
Nah, I feel that. I'm not mad at that at all. I just hope it shapes out to be a good pay per view again. I didn't mention this. it's in Saudi, so on the Eastern, it's gonna take place at 1 p.m. If you out in the West, it's gonna take place at 10 in the morning, 10 a.m. So
So the pre-show will be about 8:30, 9 o'clock. The main card will be an hour after that. They may start more towards. So let's see. For Backlash, the pre-show started at 9 on the dot. The main card started at 10 on the dot.
mm, two PLEs back to back. I want to say this is the first time in my memory where two
And
PLEs back
and
to
and,
back.
and then you still got Clash after that,
Wow.
which is in Wales. The next American PLE isn't until SummerSlam.
Right. Wow.
So Hunter is definitely cooking something. It's just, can the cards that he puts together combat the stuff that Tony Khan is begging to be the best wrestling in the world?
Mm. I mean, I think he could do what he want, but it's not gonna compare to what WWE got going on. They can put on great wrestling matches, but it's gonna take some time.
No, I'm not talking production. I'm talking solely the card.
Yeah. On paper, they look good, but I'm putting my money on WWE. But like right
Because
with them two going at it, it's only gonna be better for business. So, in the end of the day, I don't hope that AEW goes out of business. I'm just saying they're not fucking with WWE.
like everybody else, we just want to know what the fuck happened between March and 3 weeks ago.
Mm.
Because after by February, March, they were on a hot string of just quality shows, and 3 weeks ago, it all the polar opposite. So it's like, what went wrong? What did you guys change? What did you guys decide to piss away? Because it's a whole different show now.
Yeah, I mean a lot of changes. I feel like they're throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. Unfortunately, I feel like Swerve as champion was like a flash in the pan moment. I'm still
They have
happy.
a pay-per-view in 2 weeks.
Mm.
Double or Nothing. Las Vegas, Nevada. 2 weeks from today, from this moment in time.
And I didn't even know about it. What's
And
the
and this and this pay per
nothing?
view is their 5 year anniversary.
Mm.
And so again, if it were me, this would be an absolute big fucking deal because this is your 5 year anniversary mark. Not a lot of indies make it that far to begin with.
They still feel
Two,
like a 2 year
this is
company to me.
I'll get to that in a second. But again, this is your 5 year anniversary. Uh, you don't have a card set for that in general. Well, you have the Anarchy in the Arena, the Elite versus Team AEW, and you have Christian versus Swerve. That's your card for your 5 year anniversary show. You're 2 weeks away. What the fuck?
Crazy.
It's, and, and the Christian Swerve stuff alone, I don't have a problem with in general because again, you have your top heel legitimately versus a guy that in Swerve Strickland that everyone wants to be the number one babyface. His
You know how
credentials, they speak on that. His work rate, he speaks on that. Mic work, you don't gotta sweat it. He is the complete package. Why the fuck are you treating the way you're treating him?
Tony Khan's gonna get on the phone. Hey Siri, call Tanahashi. Borrow some more superstars for the pay-per-view.
You're
That's
world fucking champion. Your first African American world champion. You're treating him like he's less than your goddamn fucking trios championship, which is less than nothing. Like, what the fuck you doing with them?
Mm.
Like,
Dropping the ball. They dropping the ball.
you have given us every reason to not even give a damn about him, which is sad. All that he has done for this promotion,
Yo, Vaughn, I
whether you like
appreciate
it or
that
not,
host, man.
whether you like it or not, Swerve Osprey have put the company on their fucking backs. And this is what you have to repay your world champion? He turned down WWE money and WWE exposure for this, mind you. He turned down New Japan G1 CMLL AAA exposure for this.
That shit, wow.
Samoa Joe was your longest reigning world champion. You resort their post match bullshit to this?
Insane.
Make it make sense, please.
Just for the sake of putting on great wrestling matches. They don't care about the stories.
Yeah. Yeah. All Elite Wrestling where the best wrestle. Where again I can make a strong case to where yes, you have the most talented individuals walking God's green earth competing or showing up to TV anywhere from 4 to 7 days out of the fucking month, flying first class to or from wherever they got to be. And this is your top guys. They'd either do a squash match or do something that's absolutely meaningless, but you're going to call it a dream match. You're going to call it a banger. You're going to tweet certified, this is awesome chance. You're going to tweet certified, as Bully puts your fucking sister's ass. It's garbage. You, Tony Khan, are doing your company so much harm. It's sad. Folks feel sorry for you, yet you're still doing the same bullshit in your mind. Everything's fine. Everything's rainbows and sunshines. You're the alternative to the evil WWE. You're the evil to the fucking Harvey Weinstein of professional wrestling. Yet what are you doing as an alternative? You have independent wrestlers come fill in as enhancement talent in the stands. You do a fake tit tit slip job. You potentially have guys that have children make a scene in front of other talent, women specifically, to where they don't feel comfortable with your own bullshit. It's sad.
That just sound like it's going downhill.
What were the ratings this week? 711K or something like that? Not even close to 800K? Your 5-year anniversary show is in 2 weeks, and you are almost 120,000 folks lower than where you were this time last year.
Mm.
Now, I'm just paraphrasing numbers, but again, this time last year, they were probably in the well over 800, probably in the 860 range. And look at you now.
Then I feel like they're always doing shit to try to get more ratings too. Like what they're doing isn't enough.
And that's the other problem. Name me one situation where they haven't gotten in their own way. Name me one situation if you can.
Yeah.
Again, they could do 10 shows that are perfect, spot on, no issues whatsoever. Tony Khan will brag about how we're on a strong streak of shows or whatever. We're on a strong streak of pay-per-views. Has he said that shit this year? Fuck no. Has he said they're on a great run of shows this year? Fuck no, he hasn't. Why? Because shit fucking sucks. It's inconsistent as fuck.
Tony Khan dropping the ball.
The 1 week where he wasn't there, where it was the Bucks running it shit, where they introduced them putting Omega on a stretch or whatever, that was their best week of TV probably since 2020, in my opinion.
Hmm.
And that was just 1 day of TV. Like that 1 week, I had hope that, okay, all right, they're finally turning it around. Let's hope they can maintain this consistency. And within 2 weeks, like fucking clockwork, they piss it all away.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Why? Because they can't leave CM Punk out their fucking mouths. They can't leave WWE out their mouths. Folks want to argue, oh, well, WWE's been saying blah, 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 blah. WWE is not mentioning AEW by name. AEW, more times than I can care to count for this year alone, they have mentioned WWE by name. They have mentioned certain wrestlers by name. They don't fucking care.
WWE gonna win. I'm telling you, WWE's on top, and there's no slowing down. Especially now, the best thing that can happen with Vince leaving, and there's no slowing down.
Did you happen to see W's latest report for the announcement for Monday Night Raw being on USA through the end of the year?
Nah.
So, based on how I read it, now again, I could have misread this, but they effectively handed USA Network $25 million saying, we'll be here till we go to Netflix on January.
Mm.
They are that confident in their work. You are handing over money because they're saying, we're not sweating the quote-unquote opposition. We won't hand you your money back because we know we can kick their ass where the fuck we want to.
That's crazy.
Now, AEW may attempt to argue otherwise, but at the end of the day, when the folks you are competing with, whether you like it or not, are handing the network, they're basically giving them a refund or a rebate because they've exceeded their expectations. They're just giving their kickback money. They say, hey, this quarter is on the house. We got you.
Also, they moved up the date that SmackDown was supposed to premiere. It was supposed to premiere in October, and now they're gonna premiere in September on the USA Network.
Well, hold on. When was that announced?
8 hours ago.
Okay, that may change some things because, to my understanding, what I thought was Raw was going to have USA till the end of 2024, and then come January 2025, that's when Netflix steps in.
Yeah, and Raw gonna go to Netflix, but SmackDown's gonna move over to the USA Network where Raw's at now.
Tony Khan, what the fuck's your problem? You guys should have very easily been in these conversations. One, had you somehow met, I mean, I get it, the pub stuff happened, whatever, that was never going to work. It is what it is. But everyone else that you have, there is no reason why you guys should not have been in contention for these bids. From what I'm hearing, you guys turned down the CW, which is syndicated television. You guys would have been fucking nationwide. Like, what the fuck? On syndication television, you guys would have been nationwide, ready to go, money coming out the fucking ass. If that contract was true, why the hell did you say no? Who are you waiting on? Because whoever it was, they ain't fucking coming. Because as you have noticed, spoiler alert, Warner Brothers rumored to go into fucking budget cuts any day now. Who's gonna come first? Probably AEW because you didn't bring no money to the fucking table. This is a business. Act like it. Please.
Hmm. I need to make it make sense.
And I speak passionately because I want them to succeed, but they are giving me every reason to tell myself why give them hope. I would love them to be the new WCW. I would love for them to pass TNA. I would love them to be around for 20 years and then some. But they are giving me reasons to reconsider day in and day out. Now, I don't care if Punk was right or wrong anymore. That is irrelevant to the conversation. The question is, what the fuck do you guys want to do? Shad Khan, Tony Khan, I'm looking you dead in the eye right now. What do you guys want to do with All Elite Wrestling? What is your vision? What do you guys physically, legitimately want to do with this company?
They want to shit it away. Somebody else needs to run the company, man. Run booking at least. Like he could do the hiring, the financials. Let somebody else do the booking.
It's and we've talked about it before. You have Jim Ross, Jeff Jarrett, potentially Taz, Tony Schiavone, Mark Henry, Art Anderson. Between those guys alone, that is goddamn 200 years of knowledge right fucking there. There is no reason why you guys are in the mess you are in right now. It is inexcusable. In 2 weeks you are going into your 5-year anniversary. You guys should be far from thriving right now. You have all the talent in the world to put on great cards, yes, which is fine. But the guy booking the matches, the matchmaker, the guy signing your checks, and Tony Khan isn't doing you any favors except shooing the big money market sponsors away.
Correct.
So, like I said, you had Tony Khan on NFL Network. His father owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is NFL Draft Weekend. He is giving you free fucking publicity to promote your fucking product. What do? You give the rub to WWE. Knowing Vince is no longer there, you have the gall to say that they are the evil juggernaut, which they are no longer anymore. You reference them as the Harvey Weinstein of professional wrestling. Vince is fucking gone. That is irrelevant. All you are doing is telling the big money companies why they shouldn't fucking give you money. It's sad. It really is. You have TNA going on 20 years strong. MLW 20 years strong. The NWA is zeroing in on 80 years, and they survived Vince. They're the only promotion who has survived Vince McMahon. 80 years strong. You guys are limping into year 5. You guys are not a company. You are a man-child hobby. Nothing more, nothing less.
That's
I
a
hate
great
to
way to
put it
put
that
it.
way, but the truth hurts.
That's the best way to put it. I don't look at
Unfortunately, that's the only way to put it.
I don't look at AEW as the same company as WWE. I don't put them on the same plateau, same business mindset, none of that.
And again, I would love, I welcome them to prove me wrong. I would love for them to prove me wrong. Again, we got Double Nothing coming up. I'm sure it's going to be a magnificent card. I'm sure Wembley in August is going to be a great card. I'm sure, what was it, Forbidden Door 3, which is, I assume it's still in New York. I'm not certain where it is now. I'm sure that's going to be a great card, but it's like having good pay per views is one thing, but what else are you doing? Again, this time last year, they were well over 800,000 people. Now they're struggling to maintain 700,000. So you're again 100,000 folks have just said, "Fuck off. We want nothing to do with you." What are you guys doing to get those folks back? Whether Punk was there or not, what were you guys doing to get everybody else invested? What were you guys doing to give folks a reason to tune in? What were you
Adam
guys doing to
Copeland.
spread the good word of AEW?
Adam Copeland.
Even before then, even before Danielson, even before Krishna, what were you guys doing to get folks in? And you and I touched on this privately. AEW has gone so far off the original vision of the product, they don't know what the fuck it was to begin with.
Yep. No identity. We've been saying that. There's no identity.
They're so focused on, oh, WWE's talking shit about us. Who fucking cares?
And one can argue that their identity was to be pure wrestling, but I'm talking about an overall. There's no identity.
Okay, so
That's
pure
music.
wrestling, that's fine. What does the UFC does that makes folks want to turn to the pay-per-views? You have packages leading up to certain matches. If that requires your production crew to put some fucking work in, oh fucking well. Spend a buck to make a buck. You give folks a reason to tune in to these so-called dream matches. Make folks understand the fact that again, your Golden Boys, Orange Cassidy, went through some guys that are Hall of Famers in WWE, whenever the fuck they want to be. You have Jade Cargill, who lost one match with AEW, make them feel special. You have Sting, who goes undefeated with you guys, make him feel more special than what he actually is. Put effort into it.
That's all it need.
And again, you guys have the brain power to make this work over fucking night.
Mm.
Again, if Jim Ross, Jeff Jarrett, if Tony Khan said those two guys take over for AEW moving forward, I'm telling you right now, they would have my faith. I would be a weekly watcher because I know what they can do. Why? Because I have faith in them. Have faith in the guys you guys hired, Tony Khan. It's not hard. Yes, it's one thing to pay them, but it's another thing to let them know, hey, you guys have full reign. You guys have my full support. Now, yes, there's going to be guys like a Max Caster. There's going to be guys like a Sammy Guevara who want to do their own thing. It's okay to tell them no. Why? They haven't earned it yet. There's nothing wrong with that. Their time will come. That's what your veterans are for, to let them know their time will come. Right now is not that time. We're trying to prove to the world why, when you do that spot, motherfuckers want to give a rat's ass about you when you do that shit. We want to ensure when you do that 450, there's going to be over 1 million people watching you. We want to show them why over 1 million people want to watch you do that move. Give folks a reason to want to buy a fucking ticket.
Mm. That's
So,
real.
a couple weeks ago, I looked at tickets for Double or Nothing because again, as a couple weeks ago, it wasn't fully sold out. I'm not certain of the ticket prices as of right now, but at the time when I looked, tickets started at $30. And now again, so for me, it's in 2 weeks. I was planning on attending that, attending the weekend, or whatever. But again, due to my personal situations, that had to take a back burner. But it's neither here or there. But again, this is your 5 year anniversary show. This should be your WrestleMania. This is where you make your money. You haven't sold out yet out of one of your backyards. It's bad enough you guys couldn't sell out Daisy's place, and you had 3 chances at that. Your problems are deeper rooted than the talent can fix. And by putting the talent in certain spots that they're in, you are setting them up for failure. You're putting the burden all on them, and some of them can do their best, like Osprey and Swerve, but they can't do everything for you. And that's the God honest truth.
Yeah, they can't. I mean, as of right now, they can't carry.
Now they're doing no those two alone, they're doing what they can, but this is you having an Osprey on TV in 2 weeks. Yes, Swerve technically pulled a number this week, but again, you had him on close to the 9 o'clock hour. He had the biggest number for your show. Everything else, numbers wise, was fucking pathetic dog shit. It was damn near newborn baby diarrhea bullshit.
Baby back
And,
bullshit.
like, imagine if you like ate a shitload of McDonald's and you had the runs and you just muttered all over your chair. That's kind of what the numbers look like for AW this week.
Nasty.
And again, with the guys that are on the payroll currently, it should be far from this. Easily. But Tony can't put the book down. I'm not sure if you noticed, there's videos of post Dynamite this past Wednesday, him bouncing up and down with no fucking neck brace. So everyone's like, oh, he's healed already? Hallelujah.
It's a joke now.
And again, everyone knows it's a joke, which is why no one takes him seriously. Tony Khan is giving his own fucking company every reason to fucking fail, and they're failing. Now, again, for me personally, I've had a disdain for the Young Bucks for the better part of 10 years. The 1 week where they were in charge, I was a fan of theirs. I fucking loved what they were doing because, again, it was one, it was different. Two, it was presented as being legitimate. And again, it's just the small attention to detail. It's the little things that go a long way. And then right when Tony can't do his thing, same old bullshit. You
Mm,
have Tony fucking damn near doing this shit after Dynamite on a fucking rampage.
Fucking Tony, man. He don't learn too, cause everybody's on him and he continues to do the same foolery.
And what's sad is I honestly believe in his mind, when folks are just roasting him, he thinks they're proud of him.
Oh, you just think like
I
any
honestly
publicity
think
is
that.
good publicity.
Yeah, and again, yes, any publicity can be good publicity, but it's how you use that publicity. In this case, it's backfired up since day one because again, he's given the media every reason to believe whatever he's doing, whatever this industry is doing, is a fucking joke. At least when WWE does it, it's like damn like a fucking movie. When AEW does it, it's just it's not even happy hour at a fucking bar.
Insane, man.
And it's like in his mind, it's like, oh well, Warner Brothers
Energy
does
in the arena.
they're happy with our stuff. Everyone's happy with it. We have an X amount of percentage increase, and then we look at the weekly quarterlies. It's like, Well, how the fuck is it acres and everything's going down? What are you not telling Warner Brothers, and what is Warner Brothers telling you that you're not telling us? Because again, in a few months, you don't have a fucking TV deal. So by the end of this year, USA or just Warner Brothers can say, "Figure your own fucking shit out. You're not our problem no more."
That'd be crazy.
And it's ironic that I don't know if I read a little while ago, Disney Plus, which has ESPN, which has WWE, which also has Hulu, is rumored to be linking up with HBO Max, which is run by Warner Brothers Discovery. So
Uh-huh.
WWE is gonna be on your shit right before we know it, potentially.
They gonna make
Tony, this is
say
a fucking alarm. This is emergency for you. This is red column one for you, Tony.
they zoning in.
You're the people that are paying you are seeing what your competition is doing. They're seeing that they're not even trying, and it's better than whatever the fuck you're attempting to do. They're offering to do shit at a fucking cheaper price, and it's better. What the fuck, Tony?
Tony.
Well,
And
now
see,
again, I could be misinterpreting shit, but again, from a business standpoint, that's how it's being perceived to me by viewing it as a fan of professional wrestling. It's like your opposition is currently in talks with the guys that are paying you. I don't give a fuck what your current plans are. This is now Redcon 1. This is now all hands on deck. We are in a fucking do or die situation right now.
yeah, they need to get their shit together. They're gonna get left in the wind ASAP. Especially like if like you said, Warner Brothers is going downhill. Like whatever they got going on with them is about to just go out the window.
Yeah, because they're not sure because they're probably looking at Monday Night or WWE and AW and I'll talk like I said, Disney, who essentially owns WWE, is in talks with Warner Brothers, and WWE also has a good rapport with Hulu's, and they're also in talks with Warner Brothers. So WWE already has two heads of those three in their favor, and Tony Khan is still choosing to dick around,
Mm.
and it's like Tony, I'm looking at you man to man. Are you willing to risk all of your money for this? Because now you're going to have to invest your entire life savings to unfuck this program. Which again, it is still fixable, barely, but you have to want to fix it. You have to want to make this appealing for your big market sponsors. You have to convince your father to tell everyone else to invest your money into your bullshit.
That's insane. That's
And the
all this
sad thing is,
time.
it,
The
it
numbers just
never
keep
had to be
going down.
this way.
Yeah, the numbers just keep going down. It's not like they're going up.
And again, with the talent he has on the payroll, makes this inexcusable. You look at the men's roster, the women's roster, even the folks on the third and fourth shows, even the Ring of Honor folks, that all the rosters as a whole, there is no reason why shit is as bad as it is. It's as bad as it is because Tony Khan allowed it to get as bad because he's so focused on CM Punk, he's so focused on WWE, and then now he's focused on being an on-screen character for this Elite versus Team AW bullshit,
Mm,
which is going to be Anarchy in the Arena, which last I checked on the internet, no one wants to fucking see.
really?
Last we checked, Brian Danielson has spunk with Eddie Kingston. Why are they in a match together? Last we checked, Brian Danielson got knocked out cold by Will Ospreay. Why aren't they having a program together? Last time we checked, there's a whole bunch of other shit. So it's like, and this shit's in 2 weeks.
Mm.
Like, you were giving everybody a reason to not want to have faith in you guys. Now again, some matches they're gonna be good, they're gonna be fine, but aside from those matches, it's all for nothing. Again, so say if you were a consumer for pay-per-views and there's a string where I think at least once or twice a year AEW has a string of 3 pay-per-views in a month. That's $150. Would you fork out $150 for 3 pay-per-views for AEW
Hell no.
out
I'm
of the blue?
nope. I'm not even doing it. Nope.
Yeah. And again, and in his mind, folks, again, the folks that do that, again, more power to you. But Tony isn't giving folks much of a reason for those folks to be invested in those matches that are pre-investing. Now, again, I'm sure the card for Double or Nothing will be fine. I'm sure the card for Forbidden Door will be fine. But aside from that, it's going to be a whole lot of pointless bullshit. A whole lot of Vince McMahon-esque bullshit.
Mm-mm.
And that's just the obvious.
I said this though a few weeks ago when I said Tony Khan's becoming everything he didn't want to be. I
He
said this.
has become he became Vince McMahon before our very eyes. Many
Yep.
of us saw it coming. Some realize it, don't quite believe it. But again, it's like that's who he became the very person that he vowed to combat against. And he did it in a record time. And we some of us can also make the argument that he's even surpassed Vince Russo for the most bad ideas, which is quite telling.
Hmm. If you could surpass Vince Russo for the worst ideas,
Now again, respectfully, Vince
Russo.
has some great ideas, but also he'll know he had his fair share of duds. But again, there's a lot of folks, at least from the folks that I've spoken to over the last few weeks, that have claimed that Tony Khan has done more of a disservice to professional wrestling than Vince Russo has.
Mm, that's interesting.
And these are casual fans telling me this.
Now, why do they feel that?
Because again, these are folks that, again, from what they've relayed to me, they were a fan of WCW, they were a fan of WWE, WWF. They see Tony Khan start AEW. They want to give it faith. They see some stuff like for example, Anarchy in the Arena, Stadium Stampede, and other random hardcore matches that unfortunately have involved Moxley bleeding all over himself within 10 seconds, but stuff like that turn them away from everything. And then they listen to the Dave Meltzers, the WrestleNomics when they do the ratings on Twitter, and they just go, well, we can see what's going wrong,
Mm,
but it's one of those like, can Tony admit that stuff's going wrong? It's okay to tell the hardcore fans no, Tony. It's okay to tell the hardcore fans, hey, shit's not doing so hard right now. We're working on it, but for right now, please bear with us. There's nothing wrong with telling your fans that because that tells your fans that you give a damn. It tells your fans you have a standard. Certain entities aren't meeting said standard. you want to ensure that everyone is meeting said standard. It's the little things that
Hold
we
them
keep
accountable,
referring
hold
to.
standards. Yep.
And again, you have guys on your payroll that essentially add up to centuries worth of wisdom, whether that be matchmaking, booking, anything to do with the business, at your disposal, at your leisure. And not once have you reached out for them for their aid or assistance.
Insane. Like
Like, oh, you talked to Jericho. What has Jericho done for you?
Jericho probably doing shit in his favor, I would think.
Exactly. Like the stuff with Big Bill ain't working. The stuff when he beat Hook for the FCW belt, everyone hated that.
Yeah.
So it's like folks want Jericho gone. Yet that's one of the main guys that Tony has been listening to. Name
That's
one
that's
guy in the last 5 years that has worked with Jericho and has come out for the better. Can you name one? In all seriousness.
nah. Mm-mm.
Exactly.
I mean, I say it all the time. The inner circle, they missed with everything in there. They had a chance for everybody in that faction to hold championship gold at once, and they missed.
Jake Hager should have been an absolute monster.
Yep.
Yet he was reverted to, I like this hat. He was reverted to being treated as garbage.
Which arguably Jericho went out and said on TV, "We the people was the stupidest shit," and it wasn't over. And honestly, that's better than the hat.
And it was over. Him and Dutch Mantel, that's the We the People stuff, that was over.
Then you add
Him and
Cesaro.
Alberto as the American Americans, that was over. Fuck, even Hager saying, "I like this hat." That was over. Again, the issue's always been Jericho, but because he's an EVP, Tony won't realize that.
My boy Chris Jarrett knows. He knows it. If you don't got
Mister
time,
the Learning Tree with Big Cats.
I feel like that's a cheap way to keep him involved with the young guys. But like you
I
said,
saw someone I saw someone on Twitter that was saying that Tony Khan should hire Enzo just to have Enzo versus Jericho because Enzo can defeat the Learning Tree.
mm,
It's a very Tony Khan move, but it's like Enzo. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have the strongest fan base per se because of his history, but he's also accepting of the audience he has. So I mean that make an interesting take, but it's like the minute folks see Enzo and Cass, that's all they're gonna chant is soft. That's it, nothing else. You're gonna hear SAWFT soft. That's it, and that'll drown anything that they say.
I mean, I feel like I always wanted people to bring Enzo back, and I don't know why. I mean, I know why, but I'm saying like there's certain companies that take the chance on him, and then there's others that don't.
I know. I undoubtedly see him come back to WWE eventually because
Oh,
again,
dude.
his mic work alone, for lack of better terms, you can't teach that.
Hmm.
He will find his way back eventually. It's a matter of when Triple H deems it worthy. But that's not here there. Even when he comes back, he may be a novelty act like our truth was. He may compete for a US or IC belt, maybe, or a tag belt, but he'll just be there just to have a good time. Same thing with probably a Velveteen Dream too. He'll just be there just for the vibes.
I wouldn't be mad if they came back.
Even though the world wants him dead.
I mean, like I'm a big believer in like I know people believe in with this smoke, there's fire, but I feel like you can't forcibly accuse people of things that they aren't convicted of. Like if there was no law being broken, like and if there was no wrongdoing, investigations took place, and people are found innocent, then I think they should get treated as such.
Oh no, and I agree, but I think his case specifically, I mean, you can't understand why because it involved underage folk that they're probably gonna always stay away from him
Mhm.
just because of hey, yes, nothing will happen, but your name was mentioned in this topic. But things could change.
Maybe time will tell.
Another guys would be either like a Marty Scurll or a Flip Gordon too.
Mm.
Marty was pretty heavily named in the speaking out movement. Flip Gordon is an active flat earther.
Mm.
Yeah, he one of those.
It'd be like that.
But again, both guys at one point in time were heavily under WWE's microscope. So, but time will tell with them. I mean, you have Marty Scurll's wife with AEW is 3 and D, but still, it's like I don't think she's happy over there.
They just had her on the match just what last week, I think. Or
Hmm.
last week, yeah.
Yeah, so they're trying to have I think her versus Tony Storm. I think, but yeah, I think that's the matchup for Double or Nothing
Mm.
because they had 3 and D cut a weird promo on AEW, and then Tony Storm came out. I think gave some kind of kick, and AEW's IG somehow had this angle of Tony Schiavone looking over uh, Tony Storm like he almost like he was looking up her skirts. It was some weird angle, and they were just selling those photos.
Nah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
They be going wow. The AEW fans though, wow.
yeah. Like I said, some folks were saying that the dude that was harassing Sky Blue and a couple other ladies was an independent talent. Others were saying that was an actual fan,
Mm-mm.
and I'm just like, if that was a talent, why the fuck should we have him out there to begin with?
Right.
But another question I had asked that because the specific individual in question had multiple encounters that specific time with other women in other matches, and he's still heckling them. Why did they wait till the last match before they actually booted him out? That
And
was my big question
I feel
because
like they probably went
if,
there
if it was
until somebody said something.
if it was again, everyone knew that the dude was heckling the women, only the women, but the fact that uh, Aubrey Edwards waited till her last assigned match finished, then she did something about it. You could have very easily have done a before match or even during the match said, "Hey, we're gonna put this on pause. I want them the fuck out of here."
Yeah.
Like, why wait? That was my big takeaway from that because that kind of tells me that unless the folks around you would have said something, so if they would have not said anything at all, you probably wouldn't have acted on it, which is then concerning to the women on your roster.
That's what I was saying. Like they would have not did nothing if you know what I'm saying, like you just said, nobody was saying anything. And that is concerning. You can't have people that's not part of the show. It's one thing to yell, cheer, boo. You know, you might say other little things, you suck, but to be
I,
crazy like that, that's unacceptable.
I mean, yeah, we know the dude was doing it for his kids and all. Again, we don't condone that at all. But it's like I said, why wait till after you finish your duties before you address it?
Yeah. And then yeah. And to even see Paige Soraya have to do that on TV was crazy.
Yeah, yeah, and that was before shit got bad
Mm.
because I said there was a match with Mariah May and someone else before Paige came out to address it. So when Paige came out, that was essentially a strike too for everybody. Like it shouldn't take for your whole roster to experience something about it before you act on it. Because say they acted on it beforehand and then he argued it was ejaculation. Okay, at best they owe him a $20 ticket. Okay, whatever. Tony can live with that. But the fact that he let it go so far, it's all just one person heckles an entire women's division
That
in
shit is
front of in front of his kids.
that's insane to think about, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Because I mean, it's one thing if you don't give a fuck about doing shit in front of your kids. Again, that's one thing. But if you're doing it around folks where you're to a degree, you're basically employed with them for a certain entity, and you're acting out of pocket. That's a whole other thing. And you're doing this during a high-profile event that essentially determines the success for another team, and us reviewing like the NBA, NHL playoffs. That's a whole big ass clusterfuck.
It really is though. It's too much.
And that's just looking from a business standpoint.
Mm.
But again, time will tell. I'm sure we'll learn more with SmackDown tomorrow, and whatever happens out of Tony Khan's mouth this weekend, because I'm sure there will. Or we may hear more rap songs within the game going at Rick Ross.
That was fire too. I didn't even expect that part.
Did you have a chance to listen to the track yet?
Nah, I listened to a little bit of it while I was heading out, but yeah, I thought it was dope to see the.
You gotta hear the whole track. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, I gotta hear the rest of it. I heard a little bit of the beginning, and it kind of sound like the game is on his old school. Like he got these pockets where he sounds like Eminem when he's getting into this like battle
Yeah.
rap kind of
So
diss lyrics and shit.
I'm not sure if you caught it, but academics basically stated the only two folks that are untouchable in any rap beef, to his perception, are the Game and Kanye. I can make the argument that the aside, with the exception of Ice Cube, the main untouchables are Eminem and Lil Wayne,
Mm.
because again, supposedly Kendrick's had his runs with Lil Wayne in the past, but Kendrick's always let whatever Wayne does slide. Why? Because yes, they're both Bloods, but that's his OG. Same thing if Game were to step to Kendrick, that's his OG. Just let him say his shit. So the fact that Game's coming in, tagging in for Drake to go after Ross, that's just based on folks. All right, Big Dog tagging in. Kendrick realizing that, like, all right, I'm out this one.
Mm.
So now the next question is, how soon before we see the likes of Lil Wayne and Eminem in this mix?
Mm.
Because I've been calling it for some time, and every time we go over a new rap song, it feels we're getting closer and closer to one of them
Yeah,
chiming in the stuff.
something happens. Yeah, I mean, I think we getting close. Academics, I heard him say something. I don't know if he's still live or where he's at with it, but he said we're gonna get something soon. So
Yeah, because M announced that he's got an album coming out mid July. Say I think it's called "Where's Marshall Mathers" or something like that, whatever. So we're gonna get OG Shady potentially on the
mm,
loose, and that's a cold motherfucker to deal with. I don't care who you are, how nice you are on the mic. There's a reason why the OGs say, "Leave that white boy the fuck alone."
mm-hmm. Now I know
So
crazy, yeah.
now the question again: if him and Wayne come out together, if Kanye is in both their ears, Drake, I apologize in advance. Just duck and cover. That's all you can do is just duck and cover.
That'd be crazy.
Because
That
again, like
there's no hope left for him if that happens.
yeah, because I said even if it's either one. I mean, now granted, the game he's wanted Eminem one on one for the longest time, but it's like if M is in that state of mind to where he's OG Slim Shady, I don't think Game could touch him. Respectfully,
Mm.
I don't think anyone could touch that side of Marshall Mathers. Respectfully, because again, that's a cold blooded motherfucker right there.
Now, if I'm really doing
And
it for real,
there's talk of him jumping in next. There's talk of Wayne jumping in. Like I told you recently, there's talk of the weekend's crew being responsible of the security getting hit.
mm-hmm. Seeing that, yeah.
So like I said, this battle is far from over.
We gonna definitely see what it is though.
Hmm.
It's gonna be we gonna hopefully tomorrow or later on today, basically, they give us something else that we cover and we be back with the emergency pod. It'd be crazy.
Oh no. Like I predicted last week too. There's definitely gonna be stuff for us to cover. It's just a matter of when.
Yup,
But
yup.
it's definitely coming.
Hell yeah, I'm waiting on that shit. Let me see if Ack is still. I don't think he's still on though.
If he's not on, he probably just finished. Let's see what YouTube says. No, YouTube says he wrapped up about an hour ago.
Okay.
Yeah, about an hour and a half. Yeah, hour and a half ago is when he wrapped up. But yeah, figure that's shit damn near 5 a.m. for you guys over there.
Yep. Yeah, I'm about to probably just chill on to the next round of things. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah, yeah.
the
Oh,
backlash.
yeah. Either you'll hit me for it, or I'll hit you for it. One of us will find it soon.
Uh, Most likely, it'll probably be if I think if Kendrick drop, I think you'll probably hit
I,
me.
I don't think it's going to be Kendrick for a while, only because like his camp has publicly stated that the recent track by Drake warranted no response because of a few random reasons.
Mm,
So if we get we got a song by Game, we'll probably get a song by Ross more than likely attacking
more than
Game, and
likely,
that'll be the thing for the weekend probably.
right? Because if Ross responded to Drake ASAP, like if he responded to him quickly, he should be able to respond to the game quick enough too. So,
There's also talk that the weekend might drop a track this weekend or whatever, targeting Drake potentially.
mm,
I've been hearing that for a while.
but we gonna see. We gonna see, chat.
Mm.
We gonna see.
But again, I'd be surprised if Kendrick is in that mix anytime soon.
Mm.
Because I don't know if you saw on TikTok, Kendrick is at the park just hitting burpees. He on his little OG shit right now.
Hmm. Kendrick out there take victory laps.
No, he just posts at the park, hitting his push ups, hitting his burpees, and that's it. Just minding his own business.
Kendrick up on the scoreboard. I'm not mad at that either.
Eh, I mean, for the 10 songs apiece, they were all good songs. All of
Right.
them are for debate.
They serve their purpose. They bringing people out. They got a lot of people in they sparring sessions.
And it let motherfuckers know this is hip hop. But I'll let you go. Do your own thing. Let's say since it's 5 a.m. your time, damn near.
Hell yeah. We about to chat. We're about to wrap this. If y'all want to stick around on the Twitch and on the Rumble Kick, I'll have some content running up on the screen for you guys while I just chill out. But me and my brother Razor, we done with the off the hip. I want
Oh,
what's
we're,
episode.
we're, we're, we're putting it on a pause.
Yeah, we putting it on the pause. You know what I'm saying, chat? So appreciate y'all sticking around with us. And this episode is gonna be on YouTube soon. So just watch out for it. Follow us on Twitter. The our Twitter's in the banner and the ticker right here. So you can follow me right there at underscore styles. You can follow Razor underscore core right there. So holla at
And
us, man.
if you guys happen to see me active full on Twitter, please respectfully stand out the way. I don't want y'all to be an accidental casualty. Sometimes I shoot from the hip. Sometimes I come in hot. I come with the best and most positive intentions, all for the greater good.
These tweets don't have no names on them.
The rounds are just firing at will.
There we go. Yep. Yo, enjoy. I appreciate you, my brother, taking the time. You heard?
Oh, it's all love, my brother. Just
Yes,
like
sir.
I said, let me know whenever is good.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Bet I saved